Good morning everyone. Today we are going to study about the war between the Marathas and the British. There are total 4 wars about which we are going to study, and after that we are going to study about the annexation of Sindh and annexation of Punjab. So let's start with it. The First Maratha War 1775 to 82. The First Maratha War was fought between the Marathas and the English when Warren Hastings was Governor General, and Marathas and the English clashed in 1775 for the first time. Means they had a war for the first time in 1775 under the Governor Generalship of Warren Hastings. And this war took place after the death of 4th Peshwa. Who was 4th Peshwa? 4th Peshwa was Madhav Rao. And after his death, his younger brother Narayan Rao became the Peshwa. Peshwa means the king. Okay, in Marathas, the kings are called Peshwas. But his uncle Raghoba, he doesn't wanted that Narayan Rao should become the Peshwa, as he wanted to be the Peshwa. So he killed Narayan Rao and seized the throne. Seized means he captured the throne. Now the Maratha chiefs under the leadership of Nana Farnavis deposed him, placed Madhav Rao on the throne. The Maratha chiefs under the leadership of Nana Farnavis all together deposed Raghoba from the throne and placed Madhav Rao second on the throne as the Peshwa. Deposed means उनको उस position से हटा दिया. Now the English supported Raghoba and the first Maratha war began. Now here the English got a chance to break the unity, as it was already not present due to Raghoba. So what English did? English supported Raghoba and mixed him in his side, and by this situation first Maratha war began, and the Marathas defeated British force because all the Marathas were united and powerful that time. And by this defeat, the British had a dark hour. Why? Because it was not easier for the Britishers to accept the defeat. Okay. Who was Nana Farnavis? Nana Farnavis was an able Maratha leader and he maintained unity among the Maratha chiefs. Okay, so he was very powerful and an influential leader, and who has a quality to maintain the unity among the chiefs. Okay, but after his death, what happened? A civil war broke out among the Maratha chiefs to bring the Peshwa under their influence. Here it shows that after his death, the unity among the Maratha chiefs started weakening just to bring Peshwa under their control, so that whatever they say, he follows him blindly. Or we can say in under their influence means to win over his trust. Now the Jaswant Rao Holkar attacked and defeated combined forces of Peshwa and Scindia and drove Peshwa Baji Rao II out of Pune. Now who is Jaswant Rao Holkar? Jaswant Rao Holkar was a member of Holkar dynasty of Marathas. He attacked Peshwa and Scindia and defeated them, and he drove away means he he thrown out Peshwa Baji Rao II out of Pune. After this defeat, Peshwa Baji Rao rushed into the arms of English. That means he surrendered himself to the English and concluded the Treaty of Basin. Treaty of Basin means that the Marathas now are under the English. So, and he also accepted subsidiary system of Lord Wellesley. I've told you earlier, subsidiary system in which the ruler agrees that now we're going to maintain and take care of British army, and whenever required during the war we'll provide our army also to the Britishers. But the head of the Marathas thus came under the British. Okay, now the Second Maratha War. The Second Maratha War took place during the Governor Generalship of Lord Wellesley. And it took place because the Maratha chiefs, especially the Scindias and the Bhosle, they didn't like that Peshwa Bajirao II signed the Treaty of Basin because it was a disgrace to their nation, their rule, their power, as it was deteriorating the power, the dignity of the Marathas. So they all refused to accept subsidiary alliance and they declared the war against English in 1803. But Scindia and Bhosle, both of them were defeated and they were left with no other option but to agree or accept the subsidiary alliance with the English. Moving ahead with the Third Maratha War, 1805. Now Lord Wellesley asked Holkar to accept the subsidiary system and Holkar refused to accept this, and in return Lord Wellesley declared war against him in 1805, and this war was the Third Maratha War. But power of Holkar could not be completely broken as Wellesley was recalled from India and company made peace with him in 1806. During the war, Lord Wellesley was called back from India. Okay, now when he was called back from India, after that, company made peace with him in 1806. By this, the power of Holkar was not broken. It was maintained. The last and the fourth Maratha War. This war took place during the Governor Generalship of Lord Hastings in 1817. Now the Peshwa Baji Rao II attacked the British Residency and reduced it to ashes. Peshwa Baji Rao II attacked where the Britishers were residing. Okay, and why he attacked? Because of the feeling of humiliation which the Marathas had suffered during the Lord Wellesley. As the Marathas felt very much humiliated when Lord Wellesley was Governor General. So to take the revenge, Peshwa Bajirao attacked the British Residency. The different members of the Maratha Confederacy were soon defeated and Maratha power was completely broken. But as a result, Marathas were defeated and the power was completely broken. Now, as a result, the office of the Peshwa was abolished and all his kingdoms annexed to the British Empire. Now, after this, the office of the Peshwa was abolished and British took control over all his kingdoms. Okay, and half of Jaswant Rao Holkar's states was also annexed. Though Scindia had not in this war, yet he was not spared. So Ajmer was snatched away from him. Now, the Britishers wanted to take over all the Maratha kingdoms. So, either a Peshwa is involved or not involved in the Fourth Maratha War, Britishers snatched their kingdoms from them. Okay, like Jaswantrao Holkar's estate was also annexed. Sindhya was not the part of this war. Still, the Ajmer was taken away from him. Now the annexation of Sindh. In 1809, the Governor-General Lord Minto concluded their first treaty with the Amirs of Sindh. And in this treaty, Amirs of Sindh promised English that they will not allow French to pass through their country. But in 1833, Lord William Bentinck, they promised from Amirs of Sindh that the English would not carry their military stores or armed vessels through Sindh. They promised that they're not going to take their military or their arms and ammunitions through their country, through Sindh. Now, after Lord William Bentinck in 1839, Auckland was the Governor General. And when he was the Governor General, the first Afghan War broke out. And during the Afghan War, English violated this treaty. And they took their army and the military or the armed vessels through Sindh. But Amirs kept quiet. They didn't say anything to them. Okay. Now after Auckland, Lord Ellenborough came and he started accusing the Amirs of plotting against English as they wanted to annex Sindh. अब जब Lord Ellenborough आए, उन्होंने आमिर्स के ऊपर झूठे इल्जाम लगाने स्टार्ट कर दिए कि आमिर्स ने इंग्लिश के अगेंस्ट प्लॉटिंग की है, मींस प्लानिंग की है, कॉन्स्पिरेसी प्लान की है. उन्होंने ऐसा क्यों किया? बिकॉज अब वो सिंध के साथ, आमिर्स ऑफ सिंध के साथ कोई फ्रेंडली रिलेशन नहीं रखना चाहते थे, एज दे वांटेड टू कैप्चर सिंध. Now after him, Sir Charles Napier came, and what he did, he had a war with Amirs of Sindh and defeated उनको हरा दिया किसमें? In the battle of Miani and Dabo, and he captured Sindh to the British Empire in 1843 and Amirs were forced out of Sindh. उनको जबरदस्ती सिंध से बाहर कर दिया. Annexation of Punjab. After the death of Ranjit Singh in 1839, disorder and anarchy spread in the Punjab. What is disorder and anarchy? Anarchy means when there is no rule or no authority. Okay, so after the death of Ranjit Singh, there was no rule, no authority in the Punjab, so the disorder was there. And the Sikh army became all the more powerful. Now, to save themselves from the clutches of the army, the politicians engaged them in the war with the British. Now, politicians ने क्या किया? वो Sikh army के कब्जे में या उनके अंडर नहीं आना चाहते थे, so they involved themselves in the war with the British. But later on, Sikh had a war with the Britishers in 1845 to 46 during the Lord Heading. The first Anglo-Sikh war took place and the Sikhs were defeated and the Punjab was not annexed. अब Britishers ने पंजाब को कैप्चर नहीं किया. क्यों? क्योंकि Ranjit Singh had a good old friendship with them and they had a respect for him. Okay. Now, during the Lord Dalhousie, the Second Anglo-Sikh War was fought, and in that war also the Sikhs were defeated in different battles, which were fought at Ramnagar, Sadalpur, and Gujarat. But now, in the Second Anglo-Sikh War, Lord Dalhousie was determined to merge Punjab into the British Empire. He was so curious, so excited, or so desperate, we can say, to merge Punjab, to capture Punjab and mix it or merge it into the British Empire. And he did it on March 29, 1849. He captured Punjab, he had a control over it, and he mixed it into British Empire. Now the frontiers of the British Empire touched Afghanistan. So after annexing Punjab, the frontiers of the British Empire touched Afghanistan. Okay. Now it's time for your homework. In your homework, you have to do question number 8 and 9 of exercise D. Question number 8. Why was the annexation of Sindh considered unreasonable and unjust? Answer is Lord William Bentinck promised that the English would never carry their military stores or armed vessels through Sindh. In 1839, English violated the treaty when First Afghan War broke out. Without any valid reason, Napier annexed Sindh to the British Empire in 1843 and the Amirs were forced out of Sindh. Question number 9. Discuss the causes and consequences of the Maratha War. Answer. Causes. Peshwa Bajirao II attacked the British Residency and reduced it to ashes. Number 2. This war was an outcome of feeling of humiliation which the Marathas suffered. Now the consequences. Office of the Peshwa was abolished and all his kingdom annexed to the British Empire. Number 2. Holkar state was annexed. Number 3. Though Scindia had not taken part, yet he was not spared. Ajmer was snatched away from him. So that's all for today. Do your homework in a very neat writing and please do read the chapter carefully. Thank you.